Welcome to Janet Shu's presentation on transformational leadership. As you can see, we've got two different cars here, and they represent subordinates that have been victims of different types of leadership styles. One is our Dodge diplomat in the back, who is truly a victim of transactional leadership. And here our hot boy Camaro in the front is a victor with transformational leadership. Now, the definition of transformational leadership can best be described this way: to transform people and organizations, to change minds and hearts, enlarge vision, insight, and understanding, to clarify purposes, and make behavior congruent with beliefs, principles, and values, to bring about changes that are permanent, self-perpetuating, and momentum building. Whew, what a mouthful that was. Let's make this theory just a little easier to understand with a visual aid. As I've introduced earlier, we have our wonderful Dodge Diplomat, nice old style car, 1986. We're going to call him subordinate number 2, or Don. Don the Dodge. And here we have our hotshot Camaro, and we're going to call him Cameron. I don't know what year it is. I think he's a concept car. Don't think he's even been built yet, but he's real hot. And we're going to take these two cars and we're going to subject them to different styles of leadership. We're going to use transactional leadership methods with our Dodge, Don, and we will be using transformational methods of leadership with our Camaro, Cameron. And to get a better understanding of this, there's a few bugs out here, excuse me, we'll be focusing on 4 major areas. The first one being idealized influence. And what idealized influence is how much really you care about the people that you're leading. Now, if I was a transactional leader here with Don, under idealized influence, I would really only care about Don when I saw him doing the job that he was supposed to be doing. And so when I saw that Don was doing his job, I would come up and say, "Hey Don, good job. That's great. Maybe you ought to try this instead and then it'll be better." That wouldn't be real well received, but it could speak to Don, and we can see maybe we'll get a little transformation out of him. Maybe he'll be able to move a little bit beyond what he really looks like. He can open his door. On the other hand, a transformational leader would handle individual consideration. Now, what they would do is just get to know the employee. They would get to know the subordinate. They'd find out a little bit about their family. They'd find out what their likes and dislikes are. They'd find out maybe what some of their personal goals were. And through that, the employee begins to open up in amazing ways when they see that the employer really cares for them. See, this Cameron is transforming because as a boss and a leader, you've shown consideration for what he thinks and how he feels. It's a good thing. That's what Martha Stewart would say. She'd say it was a good thing. The next element or focus that we'll look at is called inspirational motivation. And inspirational motivation is what causes an employee to be enthusiastic, to have motivation for the task. Now, if I was a transactional leader, I would be ministering to Don, I would be leading Don, and in a transactional fashion, I would appeal to Don's sense of money. That I would think that Don's primary motivation for working would be because Don needs money. And so I would say to Don, you know, you've been producing about 20,000 widgets a week, Don, and that is awesome. And I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job. But I'll tell you what, Don, you produce an extra 1,000 a week, and I'm going to give you that raise you've been asking for, Don. I know you got a new baby, and I know you want to feed that baby. So if you produce more widgets for me, Don, you are going to get that raise. And maybe that's enough to motivate Don. Maybe that opens him up a little bit more, and he thinks the employer cares about him. But as you can see, the employer holds all the cards. Don really doesn't, although it's his choice whether he wants to produce more widgets or not. So, inspirational motivation from a transformational leader standpoint works to bring the subordinate into a team environment. Again, that interest is there as far as what the interest is of the subordinate, and the leader creates enthusiasm. And this, again, opens up the subordinate to be more of who they are. They feel like they're refreshed, they're part of something bigger than themselves. And as you can see, our Camaro is transforming. It looks a little hideous right now, but it's really beginning to get its own personality, which is exciting. That's what a transformational leader wants from their employees. The next area that we'll look at is called intellectual challenge. Now, a transactional leader, here we have Don again, who's a victim of the transactional leader, he wouldn't be too intellectually challenged. The leader would basically tell Don exactly what he wanted him to do, how to do it, and would have the expectation that Don, our diplomat, would go out and do that. And as you can see, we haven't had any more transformation in Don. He has remained basically the same. He's a little open because of the little bits of consideration that the leader has given him, but not a whole lot. He's just the standard Dodge diplomat. There he is. Well, now our Cameron, on the other hand, is intellectually stimulated. The employer asks him his thoughts, gets him to take a project and be innovative with it, come up with his own concepts to contribute to this project. And he just begins to really grow and change and be amazing. I mean, look, he's got a smile on his face. He's really happy because he's able to have influence. And this is a good thing, again, as Martha Stewart would say. All right, the last element that we'll look at today is called idealized influence. And idealized influence represents the follower's confidence and appreciation from the leader, how they feel about the leader. And this is really built up through relationship. But as we've already noted, not a lot that going on in Don's world with a transactional leader. It's not that the transactional leader doesn't care about Don. It's just that he doesn't put a whole lot of EQ towards this employee. He's much more concerned about task and getting the job done than he is about good old Don and his new baby. The only time he would really care about Don actually is probably when he can't show up because the baby's ill, which isn't a good thing. But here, with our, let's see if we can get him, he's growing into a big guy now. There we go. Yes. And we have the ultimate warrior to go to work for us in Cameron. Cameron is ready to serve, ready to do what it takes to get the job done. He is good to go because he's been highly influenced, he's been considered, he's been appreciated. This is the ultimate transformed subordinate from a transformational leader, and what we should want as leaders. And who was the greatest transformational leader of all? Well, of course, Jesus Christ. And so we take our transformational lessons from him, combined with the theories that are out there, to help make us the greatest transformational leaders that ever was. Thank you.